It is Monday, 14th July. Good morning and welcome to THG News Today with Mervin Hanley. Today's edition is powered by Carl & Son's unique bakery on the island of St. Martin with 3 locations on the island, in Colbay, at the St. Martin's Medical Center, and on the Punfill. If this is your first time here with us today, we always ask our first-time viewers and listeners to please subscribe to our YouTube's channel so that you do not miss any news, information, weather, what have you on here. So thank you in advance for subscribing. Well, what a weekend it has been, ladies and gentlemen, subscribers. I don't know about you, but for me, it was a great one. It was truly an accomplished weekend, an accomplished one. This weekend, we officially launched our first ever e-paper, The Weekend Report. Here it is on the screen for you. The Weekend Report, a free for now. It's a free electronic newspaper that brings you the news, features, commentary, and more directly to your device, directly on social media platforms. To see so many of you reading and sharing it across your platforms filled my heart with gratitude. And so thank you for your support, for your encouragement, and for believing in this vision. This is also a fantastic opportunity for businesses. Yes, I'm going to talk about that. This is also a fantastic opportunity for businesses to come on board. Whether you're interested in a quarter page, a little tiny page, a half a page, or full page ad, the Weekend Report is the platform to promote your products and services with over 15,000 contacts across the region. In our WhatsApp broadcast database, your brand will reach thousands and thousands more through forwards and shares. And we're just getting started. I'm not sure about sleep and all of that. I need to get some rest, but it's just always a pleasure to serve you, the people out there, and do it with so much love and passion. And the road hasn't always been easy, but we're still here, and I'm honored to lead this team forward. And let me say a special thank you to our creative director of the Weekend Report, Nigeri Marling of St. Martin. What a hard-working individual and what an asset to this organization. So make sure to grab your copy. And when I say grab your copy, online, it's online social media or through our WhatsApp database. If you're not a part of it, our WhatsApp number for the database so you can get information on a daily basis. And especially now with the Weekend Report, that number to message us and just say, have some manners, of course. Say good morning, good afternoon, good night. Add me to your WhatsApp broadcast list, please. The number for that is 1-869-667-7443. That's 1-869-667-7443. And you can also reach that number as well in case you'd like to advertise with us, whether here on THG Network or through our e-news reporting. That's the Weekend Report. So next week again will be better, and I'm very, very excited. Now look at this. This is just beautiful work. And yes, it's our work, but at the same time, it is just, I'm telling you the truth, look at that. Beautiful. Yeah? When you flip the pages, flip those pages. It's great stuff here on THG all around. And again, you don't want to miss next week. It's going to be great. All right. Now, before we get into the meat this morning of our programming, I also must share with you, let's grab that right there, that book, a new book release. And let me tell you about this book, because even though it talks about a mother's journey of love and loss, I read it and I'm telling you, man, it grips the heart. It grips the heart. And this is a new book release. And listen, you need to get a copy of this. If you're listening and watching right now, you do need to get a copy of this book. Through the Storm, A Mother's Journey of Love and Loss. Life presents us, ladies and gentlemen, with storms, unexpected challenges that shake the very core of our being. And in this deeply personal and moving memoir, Beverly takes us on an emotional journey through love, loss, and healing. And Through the Storm, in my opinion, is more than just a mother's story. It's a reflection of the resilience of the human spirit, the depth of a mother's love, and the power of memory and community in times of unimaginable pain. So those of us who have lost a loved one, or those of us who are going through certain challenges, each chapter offers heartfelt insights, hard-won lessons, and glimpses of hope, even in our darkest times. So whether you're walking through your own storm or supporting someone who is, this book will touch your soul and remind you there is purpose. There is purpose even in pain. So get your copy today. The paperback is $13.99 right there on Amazon, $13.99, and the Kindle edition is $3.99. You can't get any better than that. And I'm telling you, I can vouch for this book, and I am telling you to get a copy today. Yeah? Now, let's get to the meat of today's programming. Last week, CARICOM leaders and top government officials, they met in Jamaica for CARICOM heads of government, where Prime Minister Andrew Holness, he's now the chairman of CARICOM. And one of the main things that came out of that meeting, one of the main accomplishments, I believe 4 countries signed on to the full throttle CARICOM free movement and all of that. Yeah, 4 countries. And so last March, when this topic came about CARICOM free movement, I was opposed to it, and I did a commentary on that. And I would this morning like to replay that commentary because I am still opposed to it. And it's not that I'm against or anti-free movement or anti-immigration or anything like that, but especially for the OECS, the smaller OECS countries, I believe that they should take this in steps and just tiptoe before you get to full throttle CARICOM. There are people in our islands who are still looking for jobs. So what's going to happen when we have this influx of people coming into your countries? Jobs. The crime situation in some of these countries, some of these smaller islands, it has gotten worse. It has gotten worse and uncontrollable. Let's admit it, uncontrollable. And here it is now that these countries are moving now full throttle with CARICOM free movement. So I am still opposed to it because the challenge is they're not even getting any better, or you can feel the burden lifted. That's not happening. So here is my commentary on that. Last year, March, I'm still opposed to it. So please take some time out and give a listen. Here we go. A few days ago, Prime Minister Mley, Prime Minister of Barbados, she announced that nationals of the CARICOM will have the ability to travel throughout the region by the end of March. They're moving quickly, aren't they? During the closing of the news conference on the 4-day CARICOM summit in Georgetown, Guyana, according to Loop Caribbean News, Mley stated that leaders had made the decision on Wednesday last week that they were on track. In July 2023, a meeting was convened in Trinidad and Tobago where regional leaders gathered for the 45th Conference of the Heads of Government. And during this conference, a deadline was established to conclude the process of enabling the free movement of CARICOM nationals. PM Mley noted that leaders will meet again next week, that's March 15th. Before then, the remaining policy issues are expected to be settled, and she went on to list the policy issues and all of that. Currently, nationals enjoy the freedom to relocate within the region for a period of 6 months without any interrogation. Now, they're going to remove that because, according to Prime Minister Mley, she elaborated on the objective of leaders to facilitate the unrestricted movement of nationals throughout the region, surpassing the 6-month restriction. She said that people have the right to move now for 6 months without questions. What we're talking about now is removing that 6-month constraint. The thing about all of this, ladies and gentlemen, is that some of these things we're hearing from the media outlets like THG News today. We're just hearing CARICOM leaders, they go to these meetings. The thing, though, with such a major decision, with such a life-changing decision, it's a game changer. How can leaders of the CARICOM go to these meetings and not consult with their own people? How can you leave Barbados, Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Kitts Nevis, hop on a plane first class, and you go to these meetings that will change the entire development of your country and stability of your country, and not say anything to your people? People are only finding this out now, what the leaders of the CARICOM are planning to do by the end of March. Yes, they had meetings last year. Okay, you announced in a press statement that you had meetings and this is what you decide. But did you come back to your people with a town hall to get any kind of feedback? You're just going to make decisions that people from all over the Caribbean can come to your country, can come to these people's country and stay there, live there, work there, while their own people can't get work? Now, who benefits from the full integration of movement of people within CARICOM? And I'm going to say this, one size doesn't fit all. Trinidad and them, they can handle this, but can an island like Nevis, St. Kitts, Antigua, can they handle that? So it cannot be one size fits all. So when these leaders are grinning and signing, are you thinking about your people and what you're about to do? What you're about to sign off on? Let me go back in history. Because in the late 60s and early 70s, when larger countries within the region, countries like Jamaica and Trinidad, they were doing well economically, and the records are there to show that they wanted absolutely nothing to do with a single Caribbean economy. They didn't want to hear about Caribbean integration. They didn't want to hear about free movement. A matter of fact, the story of why the West Indies Federation failed is well told. But sadly, in a place like St. Kitts and Nevis, we can't ask the late, great Sir Robert Llewellyn Bratcher. We can't ask him. Now, the region's economies are not at the same strength. The opportunities for locals are not as bountiful in some countries. The percentage of skilled workers, the masters, the doctorates, and even first degrees, they are disproportionate when you compare larger countries to smaller ones. And moreover, attitudes towards Caribbean brothers and sisters haven't changed in some places, sadly. So while in an island like Nevis, Nevisians may be a welcoming paradise, they won't receive that welcome in other places. And many of our small island developing states, and we love to talk about small island developing states, we will surely feel the burden of this move. Struggling healthcare systems run the risk of crashing completely and failing to provide services at an acceptable standard to its own people. I understand that this is THG News today, but I have to give commentary on this because it bothers me what CARICOM leaders are about to do to its people. What about our education system? Become overwhelmed, its increased number of students, ballooning classroom sizes, and limited resources can and will place learners at serious disadvantage. We talk about all kinds of things on social media, but these are the things I encourage our people to talk about. Call out your governments, hold them accountable, put their feet to the fire. Even for our own social safety nets are geared to and designed for the sole purpose of helping the most vulnerable among us have the undesired potential to become a full-blown welfare state program. Let's face it, many of these foreign nationals from places where poverty is ever increasing and opportunities are diminished, they will undoubtedly place severe strain on small island resources. So consider the impact on housing stock and home ownership for locals, the impact on job opportunities in a small and in some places shrinking job market. I have very little confidence that this move at this time serves the best interest of countries within the OECS, especially those of the small island developing states. Then there is crime. Right now, look at the islands. Can't even control what we're dealing with right now. There is no secret that when it comes to the level of organized crime and social criminality, when it comes to the larger economies, have OECS leaders seriously considered the impact such could potentially have on your economy? Even now, many leaders struggle with their own island's crime. Just imagine thousands of migrants over 5 years from these larger islands, and among them hardened criminals looking an easy score. Just imagine. What a travesty waiting to happen. To give unlimited access to our limited space and resources is a recipe for disaster. Too many things can go wrong. There are many things that ought to be fixed first. I do not support this move, and I find it disrespectful as well that our leaders feel compelled to just sign on to every and anything without the courtesy of consultation to your people. You still work for them. And that is why Antigua and Barbuda issued a press release saying, hold up. We good where we are right now, how things are going. And we don't think we want to be a part of this. That's what Antigua and Barbuda sent out in a press release late Sunday night. They don't want to be a part of this. They said when we are comfortable and we are in a better position, Antigua and Barbuda, when they're in a better position, then they will perhaps take part in this, come full throttle with this unrestricted free movement. So let us think about our healthcare system, educational system. Let us think about the electoral system. And speaking about the electoral system, some of these leaders, they only want this for politics, Because, of course, if you have a certain demographic or a certain group of people in your country, that, these people they will be obligated to vote for the government in power. So some of these politicians, they're only thinking about politics. They're not thinking about what is best for the island. Every Caribbean national, especially in the small island developing states, you should rise up against this. You should speak out against this and say to your leader, your prime minister, your premier, your whoever, this should not happen. Do not allow this to happen. Because if you stay quiet, I can assure you, you will not only be struggling in years to come, but you'll be a stranger in your own land. And finally, speaking of that, it wasn't my plan to talk about this, but I'm seeing it here that Haiti is now under a 72-hour state of emergency, and this went to immediate effect as the government said it would set out to find the killers, kidnappers, and other criminals it said it had escaped in the attacks. So what's happening here? The Haiti's government, they imposed a curfew after a weekend of gang-led violence, and thousands of prisoners escaped after assaults on the country's two biggest prisons. Thousands. So you have murderers, you have robbers, you have all kind of criminals on the streets right now. Can't find them in Haiti. Well, we don't even know if they're in Haiti. And I will say this to end this program, to end THG News today. And I'm not looking down on any country or whatever the case may be. But as far as I can remember, and as far as I know, Haiti is a part of CARICOM. So I say to CARICOM leaders, know what you're doing. I know you're going to say, oh, some places may need a visa to come. The point is, you can't restrict some and leave the rest. Ladies and gentlemen, it was my intention to speak on this and other news, but I've taken up enough time on this. CARICOM leaders, shelf this. CARICOM leaders, listen to your people. This is not right. This is not the time. And you know what? Let me make it a more personal thing here. I am from the country of St. Kitts and Nevis. And I do believe that the Honorable Prime Minister Drew of St. Kitts and Nevis, he has the people of St. Kitts and Nevis at heart. And that is why I believe that he will follow in the footsteps of Gaston Brown, Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, in issuing a statement that he will not at this time sign on to have unrestricted free movement of CARICOM nationals to and from St. Kitts and Nevis. I do not believe, again, that the Prime Minister will sign on to something like this. But we'll find out. And that's it right there, ladies and gentlemen. My commentary over a year ago regarding CARICOM free movement. Thank you for listening. Do join me on Wednesday morning again, God's willing. This time I'll present to you the news. And remember to get your copy of the new book release, A Mother's Journey of Love and Loss. And I'm telling you, it's a great read. It is a great read. And also look out for the weekend's report. Exciting times ahead. Exciting times happening around here on THG Network. My name is Mervin Hanley. The news, of course, the commentary was powered by Carl & Sons Unique Bakery on the island of St. Martin. Have a blessed day further. Carl & Sons have been serving the people of St. Martin for over 40 years. And the food and service get better and better. From early morning, customers flock to the bakery for their favorite sandwiches, cakes, pastries, you name it. First thing at mornings and last thing at afternoons, folks rush to Carl & Sons for simply the best. There are two locations, Colbay and on the Punfill. In Colbay, the opening hours are Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. On Saturdays, 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. And on Sundays, 6:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Opening hours on the Punfill, Monday to Friday, 6:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, 6:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. We also cater for weddings, parties, special events, whatever the occasion. It's Carl & Sons. Our staff, we are always happy to serve you. Call us today, the Colbay location, 721-544-2462. That's 721-544-2462. Or in Phillipsburg, 721-543-1059. That's 721-543-1059. It's Carl & Sons Bakery. We are here to serve you. Nevis, satisfy your sweet tooth at Feaser's, the cozy spot in Charlestown, known for its mouth-watering ice cream and dal parade. We are open Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come in and sample our patties,
sandwiches, air-fried wings with fries, hot dogs, rotis, and now our famous smoothies, in all flavors of course. And don't forget to try the famous bus-up shut and saltfish. It's Feezes, located at the entrance to the Cotton Jewelry Mall in Charlestown, Nevis. They're also available by phone, so place your order by calling 1-869-665-2458. Don't ask about the rest, just try the best.